around. Hello, welcome to the vlog. What you just saw were some clips of a camping trip that I took in November last year. It was the changing of the seasons actually, the start of summer, and we went for my housemate's birthday down the Great Ocean Road. It's Wadawurrung country, I think. However, as you saw, it was very wet and it didn't turn out very well for us. Our tent got partially flooded and all of our bedding, we'd brought a lot of blankets to keep warm, it all got really wet. But I wanted to include those clips and a few extras that I threw in from that time period just because I never put them anywhere. And yeah, cut to now, and I've just gone on another camping road trip. Once again, the seasons are changing. We're heading into winter, which is kind of funny because we didn't go camping during the warm, nicest part of the year. This time we spent almost a week going up the east coast. We started in Malakuta and went up the south coast of New South Wales, where there's a lot of really beautiful beaches and beach towns. I also made a stop in Sydney to visit a friend. Just thought I'd do a little introduction to that and to what I was reading. I wanted to finish 2 books, maybe even a third. I was really ambitious with my reading because I wanted to do that a lot during this trip. I just wanted to sit in the sun or on the beach or under some trees and read. The first book I brought with me was Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. The placement of this is so annoying to me, but this is the second book in the Farseer trilogy. I read the first one in my last vlog and I did enjoy it a lot. It was quite slow and cozy. Not everything that happens is cozy, but to me, like, the vibes were giving cozy. And yeah, the first book was following this character from when he was a little boy and growing up in the castle and finding out a lot about the world and politics and himself. So now that we're in the second book, like, things are starting to happen a bit more. We're learning a bit more about the kind of big bad that they're up against. The political tensions are getting a lot higher and more complex. So in this vlog, I'm gonna read this second book and the third as well, and finish off the trilogy and give you my thoughts as I read it. It'll be spoiler free as much as I can. It will be kept vague, but if you like really don't want to know, then you can skip over my talking updates. So yeah, I brought this book with me, and then I was listening to the audiobook of Autumn by Ali Smith. And this one I've had on my TBR for ages. I was like, this is the trip, it's the last week of autumn. I have a physical copy of the second book, Winter, so I'll also finish that this year. But yeah, I'll check in with my reading update a little bit later. For now, let's watch the clips of the trip. How did I go with my reading? Did we make it through with nice weather, or did we get rained out again? Let's watch and see, and I'll come back to update you later.
secret under your shirt collar you can't breathe easy. When you have to, you find. When you have to, you show it. Forever leaves behind. Forever is not more. Feelings are feeling no way. Everybody's doing their time. Shadows creeping up from behind. They're calling out your name. So just you've been hiding a secret under your shirt collar. You both breathe easy. So I found you out. Feel the cloud leave you. Feelings are feeling no way. Everybody's doing their time. Shadows creeping up from behind. They're calling out your name. Let the words fall. Been ahead for too long. His words fall. He's been keeping it inside for so long. Let the words fall. Found you ahead for too long. Feel his words fall.
Waves! Waves! You got sand on your butt. No, shit. Oh, shit. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Wait for the video. Wave. Oi, get the fuck away.
It's been quite windy lately. What makes me feel
So that was my trip to New South Wales. As you saw, I did get a decent amount of time to read and I have made it a significant way through the book. I'm about 60%, but I didn't get to finish this one. However, I did finish Autumn, so let me talk about that first. It centers around a relationship between this main female character who has a relationship with her old neighbor. He is like 100, over 100, and dying basically, and she is visiting him again, and we jump back and forth between their encounters as when she was a child and her now. Another big theme is around Brexit. Look, to be honest, I didn't get anything out of it and I didn't really like listening to it that much. It just felt like it was like trying to be a bit different and a bit quirky and didn't work for me. And I'm sure that there is intention in the way she wrote, and like maybe other people analysing it would get more out of it. There might just be some like cultural context and speaking style that makes it hard for me to connect to it. Not my cup of tea. But the other book I was reading I did have a good time with, obviously Royal Assassin. The stakes are higher, I have to say. There was one particularly violent event that happened around like the middle of the book that really shocked me. Like I fully gasped. My housemates were like, what? Like they thought that some animal had like come towards our camp or something, and I was like, no, I just read something that really shocked me. If you know, you know. The thing I've been really loving about Robin Hobb's writing is she goes into the characters and really paints a vivid picture of what they're going through, what they're thinking. I mean, the main character, the narrator particularly, but in all of his encounters and like relationships with other people. Not like it's overly detailed or described. The writing is quite simple and straightforward. It's the attention to detail and the way she conveys almost mundane things as well as these big dramatic political moments. You're really living with this character day in, day out. It's, I guess, in that way not like a typical epic fantasy type of book, or at least the ones I've read, because it's not focused around super dramatic plot elements driving the story forward. You do actually kind of live with him day by day in the castle where he is doing the same things over and over again, and he discovers new things in very small bits and pieces, and a lot of the time events happen and he doesn't know the things going on around. All of those things I really enjoy, and I think it just makes it feel very real. You're really in his head. Like I feel so connected to Fitz as a character. I know I mentioned this when I was reading the first book, but I feel his frustration so strongly, and it's not a bad thing. If I was spending a lot of the book in this state of mind, then I think I would start to get sick of it. He is held back by a lot of things. A lot of information is withheld, and a lot of people are like moving around in the background against him, but also just the injustice that he is seeing and like wanting to do something about it. I'm there with him. I'm invested so much. I have a few mildly spoilery thoughts on some of the characters, so if you want to skip that, then just skip to the next vlogging section. I mentioned last time that I was enjoying the little moments of romance with Molly, and in this book we get a lot more of Molly and their relationship, and I really enjoyed how Robin Hobb explores their relationship, their romance, and also their sexuality, as especially, you know, Fitz is coming of age, figuring out how to behave and how to be in relationship with someone and communicate. But the reality is he's just a young boy and he has a lot to learn, but at the end of the day I am enjoying their relationship. The other character I am loving is Ketchikan. She's great. Verity is nice, and I like that Fitz has a nice relationship with him. It's not my favorite character, but I'm like glad he exists. I still love Burek. I'm glad we've been getting a little bit of him, but honestly not enough. Not a lot of Lady Patience in this. I mean, she's still there and I still love every moment with her, and I want to see more of her and know more about her. I actually love her so much. I think she's my favorite character. That's all I have to say for now. Hopefully I will finish this by the end of the week and go borrow the third book. I already put a reserve for it in my library. I'll take you along with my week and check in once I've finished Royal Assassin. Hello, I'm joining you from my parents' house, from my childhood bedroom, to give you a little reading update. You can see my YouTuber posters there that are really falling apart. But anyway, the last clip you saw was actually a week and a half ago. But just for a bit of context, that was a kind of rally at the end of the Europe Walk for Truth, which has been part of a truth-telling process in Victoria, which is the state I live in. The point of truth-telling is to lay out all of the historic injustices caused by colonization, led by First Nations people, and it's working towards a treaty process. I actually don't know that much about it, but for the last few years, the First Peoples Assembly of Victoria has been working on this treaty process, bringing together the different clans and different elders to form an actual formal treaty with the Victorian government, which is really major. Obviously, there are always weaknesses to going through parliamentary or legal systems. It's supposed to make it more collaborative and meaningful and follow the principles of self-determination. But yeah, basically before we get there, it's vitally important to have a reckoning with what has led us to the point we are at now, with Australia as the settler colony that is built on so much violence and dispossession. There's some great speeches, and I'll put some links below if you're interested in reading more, particularly if you're from Australia or Victoria. There are a bunch of reports that I'm interested in reading more about, and I probably will have time to sit down and just do some reading in the coming weeks. So I'll segue into a life update, I guess. Like I said, that was all happening a week and a half ago, and I haven't really been filming or reading things since then. I finished my uni exam. I've actually finished up at my job, which happened kind of rapidly in the end. I just found it a bit stressful, kind of finishing everything up and handing over. And then we also had a launch event for a South Asian collective. So just organizing that. I've never done an event like that, but I have spent a nice weekend now, just at my parents' house for my dad's birthday. I gifted him a copy of Braiding Sweetgrass. As for the books, I finished Royal Assassin. It's been so long now that I actually have forgotten any specific thoughts I had, but I have only gotten 100 pages into this book. The ending was really confronting, and so I had no idea where we were going to go in this book, and without giving away too much, it almost was feels like a complete reset, everything's changed. The story is going to go so differently. We're going to potentially not see some of our characters that we've grown to love over the last two books. So when I started this, I was what the heck? What's going to happen? I think the writing is even better in this book. There's been a lot of really nicely written lines. Her writing is still quite straightforward, but I guess just the depth of this main character's experiences. She's just expressing how all of this trauma and memory is sitting with him. We will see if I have more thoughts to share as we go along. I'll leave it at that, just a quick update, and I'll talk to you later. I'm back in my hoodie reading the book. Luck's in my lap. I just think it's really funny the things that Fitz doesn't realize. He just has a bit of oblivion about certain things. And there was something in the last book to do with his romance. I'm trying not to give spoilers, but it's something that causes him a lot of heartbreak. Hopefully you'll understand what I mean. And he just like completely misses the very obvious truth that is going on. And anyway, he's now finally realized it. I'm like, oh Fitz, you silly young boy. I feel like something bad is about to happen. Ooh, something is happening. Okay. Oh my god, no, what? Oh, that's so stupid. I can't believe this. Another little update. It feels like I haven't made it that far through the book because it's just so long and it feels like the kind of journey and adventures that Fitz is stuck on just keep going on forever and they keep getting complicated. Nothing's ever easy for this guy. The last chapter has been a little bit fun because we're seeing some characters that we haven't seen for a little while. I also have enjoyed the new characters who were introduced. I think we're getting into slightly more familiar territory in a way of like he has a direction that he's going to go. But one thing that is also coming back that has been a theme throughout the series is that he doesn't have a lot of autonomy and I feel really bad for him. I have finally come to terms with how I'm feeling about reading this book, which is that as much as I am enjoying them, they are a nice like escape while I read them. I'm not really being drawn to it and like wanting to pick it up that much. Like I don't feel excited to continue on, and I think part of it is it being so long that like it doesn't feel like I'm making that much progress. But I think it also is just that the plot and even the way the chapters are structured are not like super exciting and enthralling. There have been some plot elements in the second and third book that have a bit more gravity and like stakes and are a bit more tense. But overall, something about the writing just like doesn't keep me going forward. So I don't know, I'm struggling with that a little bit, and I think I kind of wish that I could like slow down and take my time with it and maybe pick up something else that I'm a bit more excited to read alongside this. Sorry if you can hear the cats rolling around. The audiobook I'm listening to right now is also like not really grabbing me. It's kind of like a psychology, self-help type of book. Oh, they're chasing each other. Anyway, all that to say, the reason I can't take my time with this book is that I'm actually going to Sydney again in 2 days. That's how long this vlog has been. It's been like a whole month and I'm off on another trip. But I don't want to take this massive book with me because it's going to be really heavy in luggage. So for whatever reason, I've like set myself the goal of finishing it in the 2 days, which is like 400 pages, which is crazy. So like this morning I've read 50 pages, but I still need to read another 150 pages today if I want to be on track. And tomorrow I have a dance concert, which is very exciting, and I will have a bunch of time because I'm taking a train there and it's quite far away. But I don't think I'll get a lot of time like during the day to just chill and read. I feel bad because I think I will be potentially ruining my own reading experience by like putting this pressure on myself and rushing through it. So we'll just see how we go, and I might abandon that goal. But if I do, I don't think I'm going to take it with me to Sydney, and I'll just have to finish it when I come back, which is kind of annoying. The other thing you can probably tell from my voice is that I'm sick, so Not a lot of clips from this last week because I have been resting a lot. Let me finish my tea and do some cleaning. I might still go meet a friend for some hobb shopping. Hopefully we'll keep it as chill as possible, and I'll wear my mask. And I'll update you if and when I finish this book, even if that's when I come back from Sydney. Let's see how it goes. Okay guys, I'm here to wrap up the vlog. I didn't finish it before I went to Sydney. So sad. I actually only had 100 pages left and I could have pulled an all-nighter to read it because my flight was at 6 a.m. But I was really tired and I chose to sleep. So now, 2 weeks later, I have come back and finished it off and I have not really prepared my final thoughts. My phone is on 6% battery, but I've set myself the challenge of finishing the update because I want to keep it short and snappy. Also, the cat is in the litter box now, so that's going to ruin the audio. I did have some big thoughts and feelings right at the end, the second last chapter. I did not like the direction that we took with some of these characters and their relationships. Once again, I'm hoping if you know what I'm talking about. It was really shocking to me. I can't be the only one, but I'm still not gonna explain it for the sake of spoilers. But yeah, just that final ending for some of these characters, what the fuck. It is plausible. I understand why. I'm okay not having happy perfect endings, but I don't like how she did it. We could have explored that complexity of real life and the different feelings without it going in that direction, and I would have been happier. So that was my main thing that I took away. The ending, it was a little bit anticlimactic. I don't know if it was better or worse because I went away and then came back to finish it off. It is pretty dense and slow paced, I guess. This book especially was really big, and the last book as well. That feeling of things just not quite resolving, and the main character especially not having autonomy and knowledge. It did get a bit frustrating. I talked about it being a good frustration for most of the time, but I think it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And even though I don't think it was bad, it didn't keep me super hooked and glued to this book, which is fine. I don't think it needs to do that. I think it is just doing something different. I think this series is really putting a bit of realism and human face to fantasy tropes. So I think it's interesting, and I still really enjoyed it for that character work. I didn't really know what to rate this. I think I gave it 4 stars in the end, and the whole series was 4 stars for me. I'm going to be excited to go back into this world, but I don't think the characters are going to stay with me, and they haven't changed my life either, if that makes sense. I liked where the story went with the themes around the different powers and magic system, and I'm guessing if the rest of the books are also in this world, we're going to see even more of the magic system later on. We still didn't have a lot of answers, but by the end of the book, I feel like my initial thoughts reading the first one, where I was like, this is kind of about the interconnectedness of people and animals and plants, and like what makes something alive, and like almost like the question of like what gives someone a soul, and like there's like emotions like empathy and like awareness. Anyway, like a lot of those very like spiritual questions are all related to this magic system, and I think that's really interesting, and I still want to learn more about it. I think those are like my pressing thoughts. It was a cool intro to Robin Hobb. I'm definitely going to read more of her books, and I had a good time with this. I don't think it's going to be like my favorite fantasy series. Like it isn't quite what I love. Like I think there's something about a little bit more plot driven and like a little bit more world building and politics that makes me feel really excited and is a little bit more of an escape for me. I'm glad we got to the end of it and finally to the end of this vlog. I know it wasn't all about books and you got slightly out of context clips of my life, but I really appreciate chatting to you guys and hearing your thoughts on things. Of course, if you've read Robin Hobb and the Farseer trilogy, give me your thoughts as well. And that's it for right now. I'll see you in my next video, which is probably going to be a book haul because you can see massive stacks of books that I've acquired recently. And I'll also have a wrap up at the start of August where I will gather more of my thoughts about this series as a whole. Basil's gone back into the Luna box. I'm going to take that as my sign to close up. Take care, everyone, and see you later.